Hey guys, we're going to go over how to do our CMA. The easy way to do it is either using RPR or, um, right over here, or using HomeSnap that you guys should have on your phone, connect to the matrix, and Remind. Okay, those are the two easiest ways. So if you have a client that says, hey, you know, I want to know how much my property is worth, you can send them that information using either platforms. Also, the old-fashioned way is just simply using the matrix. We'll go over that last. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go through each platform, and you can get like a rough estimate of the property value. So, we're going to go through RPR and Remind. HomeSnap, you can do that yourself, go through it. So the first one I'm going to do is Remind. It's actually a pretty easy program to use. So let's go ahead and do that. Take a few seconds to log in. So you have an option here, daily and search. So I'm gonna click on search. Remove all the spaces. Found the property. So this is active property. They want 289 for it. You can see the square footage. Everything is here. They even have the documents. I think to the MLS. It's pretty cool. Scroll down. Who's the listing agent? All that. Let's go all the way to the bottom. You can see it gives you a quick evaluation of each website. First America says 290. This website says 297. Redfin says 287. Zillow says it's 294. So 289 is actually a pretty good price. It's about what everybody says the property is going for. So that's good. So that's the Remind, how to get the rough estimate. You just do an average. As you can see, the system does an average for you on top. You can also have your own suggestions, put it there. And if you scroll to the top, very, very top, you can also create a CMA by clicking on this. And you can use the Remind system to create the CMA. Or if you connect it to Cloud CMA, that's what I use, you can use this option to do a CMA. So that's from Remind. So now we have Remind that we covered over here. The next option we're going to click on is RPR. After clicking RPR, a window will pop up, and you'll have this, right? So as you can see, when it pops up, you have property search, prospecting, market trends. You have map search, create CMA, right? So you have everything here. On top, you have residential and commercial, so you can toggle between the two. Copy, paste. So I found it right here, 35 Lint Road in Hamden. So it comes up here. As you can see, it says the list price, and this is how much they think it should be listed for. That's their value. It's estimated value generated by an automatic evaluation. So right here. And they are confident that the property can actually sell for that price. It's five stars. So that's another way. Okay. And then also you see here on top, it has an option that says CMA. Oops, CMA. So you can also click on that, go through the steps, and you can also create your own CMA. Okay, and also right here to create CMA in the bottom. Okay, and also if you have a like more details on the property. Like say you go to the property and they have an additional amount of bedrooms, or maybe they have a jacuzzi or some updates that we didn't see in the pictures. You can also add those features. They also have a seller net sheet, so you can go there and with the sheet, and you can tell them, hey, this is how much your property is worth. These are the expenses, and this is how much you will net, how much you will take home after expenses, an estimate of the net. Okay, so that's that. All right, the last way I'm going to show you guys is to do the CMA just through the matrix. This can be, the matrix is actually similar to the New York MLS. So if you're using either systems, you can do the same steps. The first thing I usually do is go to search on the very top. I go to cross properties over here, search. We know it's a single family, so we'll check single family over here. Single family. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to go over here, either where it says map or map, either one will get you to the same place. Paste in the property address. It's right here. And so you just do a radius. If it's half a mile, at least you have some properties in the area. You guys can get, there's not a lot of properties for sale. You go a little further out. I got 5 now. As you can see here, the results. You got 1 out of 5. And then I can go back to criteria. We know the property is 1,500 square feet. So I'm going to say between 1,200 square feet to 1,800 square feet. There's no results. All right, maybe 2,000 square feet. Let's see what closed. So next step we're going to do is go to where it says closed. We're going to do, I like to do 120 days back. There's 30 results now. Great. So let's try it again. To let's say 1,000 square feet to 2,000 square feet. 16. Okay, good. And let's say 3 bedrooms or more. The property is actually a 4-bedroom. Let's see if they have any 4 bedrooms. Exactly 4 bedrooms. 2. Okay. So we're going to do 3 to 4. All right, so we got 15 results. And then you can also be more specific, like I'm going to make sure that I don't have any bank-owned properties or short sales in the mix. So I'm going to check no to that. So anything goes in there. You also can choose the style of the property. If it's a ranch, if it's whatever, you can choose that there. If you want to be more specific, say if you want to say, hey, I want to do only raised ranch. I only want to do, Cape Cods, stuff like that, colonials, whatever it is, right? So we have this is an example. So I'm just going to choose colonials for now. And we have the results here. So you can see we have 1 4-bedroom. Over here we have bedrooms here. So we have 1 4-bedroom and everything else is 3 bedrooms. The cheapest house in the area sold for $240. Everything else was listed and sold for a lot more. $350, $375, $386, $420, $440. So technically, most likely they can probably even get more than what the system said, because this is more current, right? But you can see the distance from the property. These are half a mile away, you know, almost, half a mile away from the property. This is the closest one, and this is the cheapest one, the cheapest property, and it's about the same square footage, about 1,500 square feet. Everything else is a little bit more. See, 1,900 to 15. This is 13, but this one's 375. You can always go to the pictures, see the comps, see the results on the property. Is the property condition the same? Does it have more updates? You can always call the agent themselves, ask them more information about about their property if they have time. Some people will give the information if it's sold already. If it's active, they probably don't want to give you too much information. But if it's sold, they say, hey, I'm trying to do some comps for my property. Would you be able to give me more information on the property you sold? How much updates does it have, and so forth. All right, but that's a quick CMA. What I'll usually do, I click 3 properties that are similar, and then I'll set it up.